In this video, we are going to be looking at the biggest and the most notable museums in all of Africa. Buckle up because you are going to be learning a lot about African museums from this episode. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Here are the biggest museums in Africa. Number 1, Grand Egyptian Museum, Cairo. The Grand Egyptian Museum, located near the Pyramid of Giza, is set to open in the spring of 2024 after 20 years of construction and an estimated cost of $1 billion. It will house over 100,000 treasures from Egypt's history, making it the largest museum in Egypt dedicated to pharaohs and a leading center for science, history, and archaeological studies. Some highlights of the collection include 5,000 artifacts from King Tutankhamun's tomb, a 30-foot tall statue of Ramses II, a Khufu ship buried next to the Great Pyramid in 2500 BC. The museum, designed by Henegin Peng architect, encompasses a permanent exhibition space of around 92,000 square meters on a 50-hectare site, which is about 500,000 square meters, making it the world's largest museum. It will feature exhibition space, a children's museum, conference center, auditorium, conservation space, and gardens. The museum will house over 100,000 pharaonic artifacts from ancient Egypt, including 5,000 artifacts from King Tutankhamun's entire treasure collection. The opening date is projected for late spring 2024, following delays due to political and economic setbacks. The museum's design is inspired by the pyramids of Giza, with a triangular facade made of locally sourced alabaster and a grand atrium featuring the colossal statue of Ramses II. The complex includes 8 restaurants, a food court, restoration and conservation labs, outdoor gardens, a 3D movie theater, and a conference center and commercial space. The Grand Egyptian Museum is expected to attract 5 to 7 million visitors annually, showcasing a vast collection of artifacts, including the treasures of King Tutankhamun, the solar boat of King Khufu, and 4-ton pink granite sculpture of Amenhotep III. The museum's aim is to provide leverage in Egypt's request for the return of its looted cultural heritage, including the Rosetta Stone, the bust of Nefertiti, and the Zodiac of Dendera. The project had faced several setbacks, including delays due to the Arab Spring and COVID-19 pandemic. Despite these challenges, the museum is expected to open in mid-2024, offering a unique blend of ancient history and modern architecture. Number 2, Zeiss Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. Zeiss Museum is one of the world's largest museums dedicated to contemporary art from Africa and its diaspora, with 6,000 square meters of exhibition space. The Zeiss Museum of Contemporary Art Africa is a public non-profit museum in Cape Town, South Africa, dedicated to showcasing contemporary art from Africa and its diaspora. Established in 2017, the museum is located in the Silo district of the Victoria and Alfred waterfront, which attracts around 24 million visitors annually. The museum's core is a large gallery dedicated to avant-garde collection, highlighting the groundbreaking spirit of African artists. It also features additional exhibition space, each showcasing diverse expression of African creativity. The museum's commitment extends beyond exhibition, with centers focused on African contemporary art education, curatorial training, performative practice, photography, and the moving image, ensuring the preservation and exploration of African art. The Zeiss Museum of Contemporary Art Africa offers various programs and services, including the Center of Art Education, which collaborates with Lalela, and after-school art program. The museum also hosts temporary exhibitions with a dedicated space for a permanent collection. It has a strong focus on accessibility, offering free admission to visitors under 18 and discounted rates for seniors and African citizens on certain days. The Zeiss Museum of Contemporary Art Africa has a strong online presence with a website that provides information of its exhibition, programs, and services. It's housed in a custom design space spanning 9,500 square meters, spread over 9 floors within the historic Grand Silo complex in Cape Town, South Africa. Number 3, National Museum of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The National Museum of Ethiopia holds the 3.2 million year partial skeleton of Lucy, one of the oldest hominid fossils ever discovered. Also features large ethnographic and paleontological collections. The National Museum of Ethiopia, located in Addis Ababa, is a significant repository of the country's cultural, historical, and archaeological treasures. Established in 1958, it evolved from the Institute of Archaeology to showcase artifacts from French-led archaeological expeditions. The museum's 4 exhibition sections covers paleontological exhibits, ancient and medieval art, African art history, and ethnographic displays. Number 4. Iziko Museums, Cape Town, South Africa. Iziko Museums is a collection of museums, including the South African Museum, South African National Gallery, and planetarium celebrating African heritage and culture. The Iziko Museum of Cape Town is a collection of 11 museums near the city center, with Iziko meaning heart in isiXhosa, symbolizing a gathering place for sharing oral histories. The museums cover a wide range of themes, including natural history, social history, art collections, and maritime history. Some notable museums within the Iziko group include: Number 1, Iziko South African Museum. This was founded in 1825 and it houses significant African zoology, paleontology, and archaeological collections showcasing South African mammals, birds, natural wonders, and indigenous knowledge. Number 2, Iziko South African National Gallery. This is South Africa's premier art museum, which features a outstanding collection of South African, British, French, Dutch, and Flemish art, with a focus on South African art. Number 3, Rustenburg, Koopmans de Wet, Castle de Good Hope, Groot Constantia, Bertram House, Bullcamp Museum, Slave Lodge, and Social History Center. These museums within the Iziko group cover social history, art, and specific historic sites. The Iziko Museum hosts various exhibitions, from rock art to fossils, marine animals, and meteorites, providing a rich view of South African natural and cultural history. Number 5, National Museum of Mali, Bamako. The National Museum of Mali, located in Bamako, is a prominent archaeological and anthropological museum showcasing the rich history and cultural diversity of Mali. Established in 1953 as a Sudanese museum under French colonial rule, it transitioned to the National Museum of Mali after the country gained independence in 1960. The museum's collection includes over 10,000 ethnographic, archaeological, and West African art objects, complemented by 40,000 photographs, 12,000 negatives, 500 audio recordings, and 300 video recordings. Under the leadership of former archaeologist Alpha Omar Konere, who became Mali's president in 1992, the museum's funding significantly improved, elevating its stature to one of the finest in West Africa. The museum moved to a new cemented structure designed by architect Jean-Lo Pivin in 1956, reflecting traditional Malian designs, providing a culturally rich setting for its exhibits. The National Museum of Mali plays a crucial role in safeguarding Mali's aesthetic heritage with a focus on preventing the looting and illicit trafficking of cultural artifacts. It actively engages in raising awareness and encouraging the protection of heritage. The museum's collection includes musical heritage, ceramic textiles, and more, showcasing Mali's artistic legacy and fostering contemporary artistic expressions through exhibition and competition. One of the museum's notable exhibitions is a 700 square meter display of nearly 200 textiles dating from the 11th century to present date. Number 6, National Museum, Lagos, Nigeria. National Museum Lagos is one of the largest museums in West Africa, with a collection spanning archaeology, history, art, and craft. The National Museum of Lagos, located in Lagos, Nigeria, is a significant cultural institute with a rich collection of Nigerian art, statuary carvings, and archaeological exhibits. Established in 1957 by English archaeologist Kenneth Murray, the museum houses notable artifacts like the Jama head from Nook culture dating back to 900 to 200 BC. It is situated at Onikan, Lagos Island. The museum's collection includes a diverse range of objects, estimated at around 47,000 items, made of wood, ivory, metal, and terracotta, showcasing the cultural heritage of Nigerian ethnic groups. Number 7, Apartheid Museum, Johannesburg, South Africa. This museum features powerful exhibits of South African apartheid regime through artifacts, artwork, photography, and film. The Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg, South Africa is a powerful and moving institution that illustrates the history of apartheid and the 20th century struggle for racial equality in the country. It was opened in November 2001 as part of the Gold Reef City Complex. The museum cost approximately 80 million rands to construct. The museum is designed to take visitors on an emotional journey from darkness to light with 22 individual exhibition areas. Visitors are randomly assigned to enter through either a white or non-white entrance, reflecting the racial segregation of apartheid. Exhibits include dramatic photographs, video, press clippings, personal artifacts, and moving anecdotes that vividly illustrate life under apartheid. Key exhibits include pillars of the Constitution, race classification, journeys, and segregation. The museum's aim is to be a place of healing with tranquil gardens for visitors. It also hosts events 5 times a year to celebrate the end of apartheid and the start of multiracial democracy in South Africa. The museum is situated on 7 hectares of land on the outskirts of Johannesburg with exemplary design, space, and landscaping. It is easily accessible from the De Villiers Graph Highway. The Apartheid Museum is registered as a Section 21 company, which is non-profit and relies on donations and sponsorship to remain operational. Number 8, Museum of Egyptian Antiquities, Cairo, Egypt. The Museum of Egyptian Antiquities in Cairo is crowned with mummies, statues, and artifacts. This museum showcases an impressive array of pharaonic antiquities, including statues of King Tutankhamun and King Akhenaten. The Museum of Egyptian Antiquities, also known as the Egyptian Museum, is located in Cairo, Egypt, and is the oldest archaeological museum in Middle East. It houses the largest collection of pharaonic antiquities in the world, with over 120,000 items on display. The museum was established in 1835 near the Ezbakaya Garden and later moved to Cairo Citadel. The museum's current building was constructed in 1901 by the Italian firm Garozzo Zaffarani, designed by French architect Marcel Dognon. It is situated in Tahrir Square and is one of the largest museums in Africa. The museum's collection spans from the pre-dynastic period to the Graeco-Roman era, with exhibits including the complete burials of Yuya, Tuya, Susenes I, and the treasures of Tanis. The museum also houses the Nema Pelete commemorating the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under one king, as well as the splendid statue of the great king of Khafra, Menkore, and the building of Pyramid of Giza Plateau. The museum has two main floors, with the ground floor hosting a vast collection of papyri and coins from ancient world. The first floor is dedicated to the last two dynasties of Egypt, exhibiting items from the tomb of Pharaoh like Thutmose III, Thutmose IV, Amenophis II, Hatshepsut, and Khotia Mahipri. It also houses an array of artifacts from the Valley of the Kings, most notably from the intact tomb of King Tutankhamun and Susenes I. The museum has faced challenges including damages during the 2011 Egyptian Revolution, where two mummies were destroyed and several artifacts were stolen. However, the museum has since restored some of the damaged items and put them on display. The museum has specific rules regarding photography, video recording, and other visitors' behavior to ensure the safety of the exhibit and other visitors. Visitors can take photographs and video for personal use, but commercial use requires permission from the concerned authority and payment of the daily rate. The museum is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Number 9, National Museum of Benin, Benin City, Nigeria. The National Museum of Benin holds a large collection of artifacts and artwork from the Benin Empire, including bronze and ivories. The museum was opened to the public in 1973 following the commissioning of the new building by the government to house the collections. It is located at King Square, Ring Road, Abiama, Benin City, Nigeria. The museum has a significant number of artifacts related to the Benin Empire, including terracotta, bronze figures, and cast iron pieces. It also houses ancient art from early times and is managed by the National Commission for Museum and Monument. The museum has various exhibitions, including the Oba Akenzua Gallery on the ground floor, which houses major artifacts such as the head of revered Queen Idia and samples of shotgun used during the Idia War. The Unity Gallery on the top floor offers a glimpse of various historic relics from around the country. The museum is open to the public and offers affordable entrance fee. Cameramen are not permitted inside the museum to protect the integrity of the artifact. The museum is located within the ecosystem that produces its famous work of art, close to the palace of the Oba and the famous Egun Quarters, a UNESCO Cultural Heritage Site. Number 10, Gidan Makama Museum, Kano, Nigeria. The museum is located in the heart of Kano Old City, opposite the Emir's Palace. The museum exhibits traditional Hausa architecture, the mud wall typical of the period, though some modern renovations have been made over time. The museum has a rich collection of arts, crafts, historical artifacts related to the Kano area. It is divided into 11 distinct galleries, each focusing on a different aspect of Kano's history and culture. The Zauri main entrance hall displays traditional materials, city walls, and map of Kano. Other galleries cover topics like the history of statehood, 19th century Kano, the Civil War, economic, industry, and music. The galleries showcase the lifestyle of a traditional Kano aristocrat, as they are the rooms and courtyard once inhabited by the old Makamas. Exhibits include traditional Kanawa artifacts, pictures, musical instruments, handcrafts, and materials. After the British capture of Kano in 1903, the building briefly served as an office for colonial officers. It was later divided into 3 sections. One became the museum, another a primary school, and the third remained a residential building. The Gidan Makama Museum exhibits a variety of traditional Kanawa artifacts, pictures, musical instruments, handcrafts, and materials across its 11 galleries. Some of the specific exhibits include Zauri, history of statehood, 19th century Kano, Civil War, economy, industry, music, Da'a Islam, Madobi Hut, Tasa, and Kofa Kabuga. This exhibit provides a comprehensive view of Kano's history, culture and tradition, and Kanawa civilization. And with that, we have come to the end of this video, and I do hope you found it informative. Please subscribe, like, and share this video with others, and feel free to leave a comment of your suggestions, opinions, and thoughts below. Thank you.